Good morning, good morning, good morning, and a happy Monday to you all. I hope you start off your week pretty strong. Bitcoin didn't do bad at all. We just closed a weekly and we just closed a 3-day. And hey, speaking of the weekly, Bitcoin did exactly what we discussed in yesterday's video. It looked bad, it looked red, it looked like a reversal. But what do you know? The bull stepped in and closed the candle green. Now the question is it enough? Is it enough? Or are we going to see some downside? Are we going to see the dip that everybody has been waiting for? The dip that everybody is looking for? We'll be talking about that in today's video. We'll also be talking about Ethereum and XRP because we got a request from Ashok in the Mango Telegram group. So if you're interested in those, use the timestamps below. But hey, I really don't recommend you skip any of this juicy BTC stuff. Speaking of which, let's get back on over here to Bitcoin. Here's the weekly, but we'll go ahead and start with the daily like we usually do because hey, let's do a recap of what's been happening in the past few weeks because it will frame the picture of what's to come moving forward. Going back all the way to, this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a big move. We've been following this on the 3-day, and by the way, we just closed the 3-day, right? Been following this on the 3-day on the Ichimoku chart. We got our edge to edge, broke the 200 MA and the top of the cloud after getting our first rejection of both, right? We got the rejection of the top of the cloud and the 200 MA, broke those two with nice volume, with vindication and force, got the retest. We bought the retest as we planned. I didn't get filled entirely. I got greedy, missed my bids by just a bit, but hey, who cares? Good enough is good enough. Actually, I do care, but it would have been a really good buy if I got filled entirely. Going back on over to our daily, what were we looking for first? We're looking for a close over the 200 MA, right? That's what we were discussing last week. As soon as we got that close over the 200 MA, we got this bounce. It was literally here, guys, literally here, and we got the bounce right away that morning. That tells us that the bulls are looking at the same things that we are. Once we got that confirmation, they were all ready to go. They were willing to be risk on. We got that bounce, and then what do you know? We actually got that ascending triangle that we were speculating on. It was too early to be talking about it or playing it. It was too early to be playing it over here, but we were speculating on it forming, and it actually did form. We got the ascending triangle. We put on our drawing tools, as you guys can see over here, right? Got the ascending triangle, got the bounce, and got the break to the upside. As soon as we got the break to the upside, the entirety of last week we were waiting for the retest of the 8,000 level on the 2-day and the 8,200 level on the daily. That's how things fit together, guys. They all pan out if you just look at the higher time frames. The 3-day, the 2-day, the 1-day, as well as the weekly, they all come into confluence. And hey, we talked about how you get one of two retests, either the retest immediately or retest after putting in some time and space. And on the daily and 2-day, we put in some time and space and got the retest. On the 3-day, we got the immediate retest, and that's where most of the action can be looked at. And just keep yourself safe from all the shakeouts. When you look at the 3-day, take off all our drawing tools, look at how constructive this is, right? It looks healthy. Yeah, we got this move over here, but to a lot of people this was an opportunity, right? The perfect buy at the 200 MA. Even if you bought over here and this happened to you, right, it didn't matter, right? Because this was still a good buy. And then the Tenkin test, it's constructive. We broke the ascending triangle to the upside, got a retest of it, and now looks like Bitcoin is just reaccumulating over here, getting ready for the next leg up. That's at least what the probability says. Does it mean we're going to go up for sure? No, but we play the probability, and every time we've stuck to the probability over here at Mango, things have panned out for us. And that's all that matters, that in the long run things will pan out. Will we always be right? No, we're not always going to be right. We're gonna have some bad days, but it's about taking statistically good setups for the long run. We're not here to gamble for one move or two moves. We are here for the long run. Going back over to our weekly, because that's where you can really get a good idea of the long run, guys. Forgive me, I still have a bad throat. Let's clear out Ichimoku, and look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at how strong Bitcoin has been on the weekly. Okay, and this is where those ideas enter your head, and you start thinking, okay, this is too much. We've moved too far, too long. We need to have a pullback. Do those ideas enter my head? Of course they do, but I stick to my rules. Because you don't know how far this is gonna go. Again, look at what we did in the past, all the way to 20,000. Can we do that again in one stretch? Who knows? We don't know, which is why we wait for confirmation. Yep, looking back at Ichimoku, we do have resistance here at the cloud level. So until we break 9,300-ish, we are not in the clear yet. That being said, there's no reason to be scared until you break around 8,300 to the downside on the daily chart. Going back to the 3-day too, okay? Let's keep it simple. We can just wait for a 3-day to close underneath 8,257 to then trigger a move to the downside. If we close a 3-day underneath 8,257, we can be like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's time to get ready. Until then, it's far too early. Speaking of which, we just opened a new 3-day, right? So this is the new level that we're going to look at moving forward. Turning on our drawing tools. Oh, okay, it's right here. We have it marked already at this dotted red line over here, right? We've been talking about this on the daily chart, how Bitcoin is going to be ranging in here if we break back into that zone, and it looks like we've done just that. But now this is also a 3-day level. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to turn this line a little thicker and make it a little darker, so we know that that is our next major level to break on the 3-day. Going back now on over to our daily, let's go ahead and look at this zone over here. Bitcoin broke into that just yesterday or day before-ish, right? I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We can look at a 4-hour to see if we've been ranging in there really. Yup, exactly what. Ooh, and look at this. We just had a bearish TK cross, right? This is bearish above the cloud though, so it's a weak bearish cross, and now it looks like we're about to have a recross here. This is bullish, guys. This is bullish. This, however, doesn't incite a retest of the Tenkin, usually Tenkin Kijun, and then a bounce up. Now with a bullish cloud like this, a double TK cross above the cloud, okay, your 200 MA lining the bottom of the cloud too, you have this supporting trend line moving underneath it as well. There's a lot of support for Bitcoin even on the lower time frames, okay? There's no reason to be bearish at all. Not on your daily, not on your 4-hour, not on your 12-hour. You can go ahead and look at this. The Tenkin is moving aggressively. We retook it over here. This was a shakeout right here. People who are playing on the 12-hour pretty much got shook out a little bit over here if they looked at this candle and then bounced right back up, right? This was a trap. Now if we even close a 12-hour over this red horizontal line here, I'm going to be expecting move to 9,650. By the way, somebody did comment underneath on my last video, and we discussed this briefly in the comments. We talked about this yesterday. I'm like, if Bitcoin, we made the move to 8,700, and someone mentioned that in the comments, and I said if Bitcoin actually closes above the red line here, 8,750-ish on the next 4-hour, which would have triggered the 12-hour close, I was expecting a move to 9,600. But what do you know, the bears stepped in, or the bulls were not ready yet, and it closed right underneath it at the end of that 12-hour close. So these are all signs telling you that this is an important level, not only on the 12-hour, but on the daily and on the 3-day as well. That's going to be a key level moving forward to get aggressive for the upside. But for the downside, right, there's nothing to worry about until we clear the zone here, 8,000 to 8,200-ish to 8,000, okay? That being said, we still have Tenkin support at 7,600. This is going to be a buy zone for a lot of people. However, if you do want to play it safe and protect your profits depending on where you bought in, you could start de-risking if we break this zone. That's on you. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just telling you my thoughts on how the market is looking. And to me, right now, the market is looking constructive. Okay, is there anything else I do want to talk about? We talked about the daily, we talked about the 3-day, we talked about the weekly. We talked about the monthly yesterday, so go ahead and check out that video. Okay, yeah, I do want to put on a good bearish side too, because I don't want to sound like I'm being too bullish. Like, it may come off like that, but you guys need to know that because I had a huge win during the bear market and it worked out well for me, I tend to actually want to be bearish, and I'm trying to check myself on that all the while. I'm not a perma bull, believe me. I am waiting for the right signs too, because it's just easier to collect BTC in a bear market. And when you believe in BTC long term, and I'm talking about, you know what, you guys know what numbers I talked about in the last video, you do want to be able to collect more BTC, right? But you could do that through altcoins, or you could do that in a bear market. It depends. Okay, that being said, I think a couple of videos ago I did draw this out for you guys, right, as a rising channel. right? Something like that. The thing is though, you could look at this as a rising wedge, right? Something like that. You could look at join basically the candle closes as opposed to doing candle closes and wicks. Again, this comes down to art versus being specific, blah blah blah, and you could do something like that and it turns into a wedge. Right now this is a bearish formation, and if we break to the downside, it could actually match up with this. So this move over here, this measured move over here, is the measured move for the ascending triangle that we are looking for to the break to the upside. We got the break to the upside, now we're waiting for the move. So this could actually line up with this. Actually does, yeah. So that's how freaking trading works, man. Confluence. And if we break over here, it lines up perfectly with the Kijun, right? Which would probably also line up with the green 55, I'm guessing. Okay, not quite, but it depends on where we break, right? If you break over here, it'll come, we are looking for a move to the bottom of this wedge over here, which would be around 8,000, 7,200-ish, my bad. Okay, so that's the bearish case if we break to the downside, and you could actually wait for this wedge to break, which would also line up with the 10 SMA, by the way. And the 10 SMA has been guiding BTC. We've been, ever since we closed over here, that was another sign for me, by the way. When we moved to the downside here, it looked like we closed above, but not quite, because we opened underneath. We closed above, but we opened underneath, and I wasn't too sure, but the daily closed strong, right? And if you guys remember, this was the dip that we bought, the retest of the ascending triangle. So I was watching this very closely that day. We got the dip, we bought the dip, and then the next day we came and closed above the 10 SMA. We closed pretty strong, and then we had our indecision candle and onward and upward. What did I talk to you guys? What did I say to you guys? I said whenever we have an indecision candle in an uptrend, you will likely, not always, likely move to the upside. In a downtrend, you will likely move to the downside, which is why what I'm trying to say is I'm not a bear or a bull. I am on the side of the market. At Mango, we don't do that kind of stuff. We don't pick sides. We pick one side, and that's the side the market wants to go in. Okay, and now it looks like to me that the market wants to move to the upside. And by the way, even though, and now this is me being bullish again, because I can't help but be bullish when the market is doing this, guys. Come on. Okay, anyways, even though this is a bearish formation, bearish formations will break to the upside in a bull market. They just do, man. And the measured move of this wedge, depending on where we break, if we break over here, is looking at, is that 10,000, 10,700, and that lines up probably with the weekly Ichimoku. Let's go ahead and look at that, which is sitting at 10,100 actually. So okay, if the wedge breaks, we are likely to break above the cloud. Depends though on if we close above the cloud. Okay, remember, we are waiting for the weekly to close above the cloud. Okay, let's talk about the weekly again before we end off BTC and move on to Ethereum. So let's clear out everything. We were looking at this orange box over here, right? But now things have probably changed. Let's turn on our EMAs. This was our buy zone, but as you guys can see, the 10 SMA has moved up pretty aggressively. I'm looking at this now because we just closed the weekly, got a new tick, and the 10 SMA has made a new move. Aggressive, all the way above the 6,000 level. Now what is it sitting at? 6,768. Okay, so now it would be prudent for us to adjust this buy zone box over here. Yes, the 21 and the green 55 over here are still in the zone, but I don't know. I think buyers are going to want to step in a little bit earlier. Now we can go ahead and adjust the top of this box to line up with these horizontals over here. Let's go ahead and do that. And what do we have? Okay, that's good enough. This bottom lines up with the green box. Okay, cool. Let's turn on our Ichimoku now to see if we have any confluence over there on the weekly. And okay, yeah, we have a Kijun over there, and we can adjust that a little bit over there, and the bottom of the cloud. Okay, that is, we can do this. Okay, so this would be our new buy zone. Look at this, by the way. We have a Kijun and a Tenkin. Okay, they're closing in on each other. Look at how far apart they were over here. Look at how far apart they were over here, and look at how close they're getting over here. If we get a TK cross, okay, a TK cross, a Tenkin moving above the Kijun on the weekly, that would be really bullish. That being said, that usually also incites a move to the downside to test the Tenkin and Kijun, just like how we were talking about how we got on the monthly, right? Let's go ahead and turn on our monthly. We were looking for this move here. After we break the green 55 to the upside, we got the cross of the 10 underneath the 20, which is the bearish cross, by the way. We were looking for a bullish move to test this and then break it to the upside, which we got right away. We weren't expecting it to get it right away, but hey, that's how strong BTC is. That's very similar when you're looking at the Ichimoku on the weekly, right? If we get that cross, it's likely for us to come and have that test. But the thing is, when you have a bull market, I don't know. It's just something to be prepared for. That would be a gift. Okay, that would be a gift, and that's where I would be stepping in as a buyer. I'm telling you guys right now, so that I live up to it. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. Okay, that's BTC on the weekly. So again, if you're looking at the weekly, clear out everything. Is this move enough for the bulls to have defended the chart's healthiness? I don't think that's how we should be looking at it at all. We should be asking the question, is this move enough for the bears to have said, hey, okay, we're going to move to the downside? Because the bulls are in control and the bears haven't given us enough indication to tell us that they are taking control. Look at these candles. Every wick has been higher than the previous wick. So until we make a close underneath this wick over here, I would not be looking too bearish at this chart. And what is that number sitting at? 8,000ish again. So if we close a weekly underneath 8,000ish, then we can look at this as, hey, move this line a bit. We have the other, basically we're looking at this candle over here, right? This doji-ish candle, gravestone candle, whatever you want to call it, as an indecision candle, a candle that doesn't give us too much confidence. Yes, it's not giving us too much confidence on the bull side, but the bears aren't done yet. They need to confirm a close underneath the zone here. Then you can say like, okay, cool, we are likely going to move to the downside. Again, it could be a trap. We're going to have to wait and watch how that plays out. Sometimes you're going to get trapped, and it is what it is. Okay, you have to look at the long run. Okay, let's go on over to Ethereum now, because hey, Ethereum is going to be doing something special today too. Ethereum is closing a 2-day, and how have we been watching Ethereum? We've been watching Ethereum on the 2-day chart on Bitstamp. Let's turn that on. Let's turn on our Ichimoku cloud, and this goddamn 200 MA has been plaguing Ethereum for what? It's been now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 2-day candles. That's 18 days, almost 3 weeks now. Ethereum has not been able to close above this 200 MA. This 200 MA has been making Ethereum its little B. But will Ethereum do it today? That's left to be seen, because it's been teasing us. It's gone above and it's almost done it, but just as the 2-day comes to a close, Ethereum comes and closes right underneath. The bears are either making a statement over here, or the bulls are saying we are not done accumulating. We are not ready to push this past yet. But hey, if we do close a 2-day above the 200 MA, I will not expect this red box here, which is our daily resistance, right? I wouldn't expect this to hold for too long. I think we're going to make a move past this red box. We've already got the first retest of the top of the box over here, right? But then the 2-day came into action and we came and closed underneath the 200 MA. So the 200 MA is winning right now. We are living above it, but hey, we still need to close. Now look at the volume, guys. Okay, look at the squeeze we're getting from the 200 MA, and if you turn on our EMAs and look at our daily, we have our daily long template. We have a 10 SMA pushing up price action from the underneath. We have a 200 MA on the 2-day pushing price action up from the top. Who's gonna win? Okay, we have an explosive move coming up very, very soon, but which side is it gonna be? That's left to be seen. Ethereum is gonna be, we're going to have to be patient. Okay, we've been patient so far and has rewarded us. Remember when we got into Ethereum, our first positions were in at 134. We added on the way above. We de-risked some too, added again. If you're forced to de-risk again over here, we'll do it. It's about safety first, right? But hey, as long as the trend is intact, and the trend is still intact, there's nothing to be worried about. Going over to our weekly, let's check that out. Let's check that out on Coinbase. Yep, looking strong, looking healthy. We're still in that zone over here. That's hilarious. We got 2 retests of this green 55. If you guys bought that, congratulations. That was a good buy. Now you're in this with us. We just have to be patient and watch what happens. Like I said, we're looking for big moves on Ethereum, all the way up to 400-ish, 420-ish, maybe on the daily, and then closing weeklies underneath this zone over here. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a game of patience. All right, moving on to XRP now. As you got a request for XRP, let's start with XRP BTC. For those of you who don't know, we'll start with the daily. we did take an XRP trade, and I did close that XRP trade, and I did tell you guys, watch XRP pump in my face right after I close, right? But you got to follow your rules, and if it does happen, it does happen. But here's the thing, right? I was playing this off this red box territory over here. Let's go ahead and turn out. I was playing it off this red box territory over here. As soon as we close a candle into this red box here, I'm going to be out of the trade, right? And we did that. I was expecting a move. We bought over here, right, at around 5090-ish. I got my bid in, and I was expecting a move to I was looking for a move all the way up to this line here, this green line over here, and then possibly make a higher low, and then another move to this zone over here at 6709. So yeah, the first zone at 5792-ish. Second area I was targeting was this over here at 6100, and then 6700, right? I was looking for that, but we closed right after, like a day or so after we closed, 2 days after we closed underneath into the red box. So I got out. But the thing is, right, I was wrong about being wrong, because we closed right, the next day we came and closed right above, right? And things like this are going to happen. You're supposed to get back in if you believe in the trade. I did not get back in, and what do you know, the next day this move happens over here, right? So for those of you who are still in this trade, or who did get back in, good for you, good play, good trade. XRP is looking good right now. You have to call it what it is. It's looking good. Again, we are above the zone now. It's actually looking even strong. If we close the daily over here, it's actually going to look even stronger than it did when I got in. So that is definitely a good play. The next buy zone would be, again, the top of this box here at 5153. Again, everything else still stands. You can move this yellow box like this and expect the move to be something like this, right? 5789-ish. You'd be looking for as your first target. Let's go ahead and turn on Ichimoku's. I think we have a C-span trade here. Yeah, exactly. The Tenkin's moving up aggressively too, so that's another good sign. Keep an eye on this, guys. This is in play, okay? The Kijun over here, which I'm pretty sure lines up with the cloud on the 12-hour, right? Edge to edge trade on the cloud. Yep, we have that. We have a TK cross. Things are looking good on XRP. If you look at XRP USD, I'm pretty sure it's looking good too. You don't even need to, because you play this on the BTC chart, because BTC is looking good, but yeah, you have XRP is looking good. XRP USD, let's go ahead and look at that. Yep, XRP is looking good. On the USD chart too, your tank is moving up aggressively. I'm pretty sure, did I chart this? No, I did not chart this. I did not look at this here. Yeah, look at how aggressively the tank is moving to the upside. If I were to be a buyer here, I would not buy here, right? I would not buy exactly here. If you're looking at this chart, I would look for this horizontal to break to the upside first. We want to close a daily above this zone here, somewhere around there. If not, you'd want to be a buyer somewhere around here, lines up with the Tenkin and this horizontal over here, so we can turn that into green, right? That'd be good. And yeah, actually, you could go ahead and draw a box somewhere like this. This would be a good buy zone. Let's go ahead and turn on our 12-hour and Ichimoku. Okay. So if we range around here, this would be a buy zone, right? If it does come down here, a good buy zone. So yeah, I'm just doing this roughly. You don't need to look at this. I don't look at XRP USD, but it is looking good. So if you guys are looking at this, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all. You want a daily to close above this, or you want to be buying somewhere around here. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, so that's that for XRP. XRP BTC is looking good. BTC, quick recap. Again, we're looking to break above this red zone here. That being said, if you're looking at this as a wedge, I don't like to play patterns too much. Even though we have been looking at a lot of them, they have been playing out. You don't need to play them. You guys know most of our trades we've been playing on simple support and resistance lines and EMAs, and mostly the Ichimoku, which Ichimoku is king, man. Ichimoku is king. Look at this. If you got this here, you would have got the Kijun buy, perfect Kijun buy. If you want as greedy as me and put your bids a little higher. Anyways, that's BTC. You're looking for a break to the upside on the red line over here, or to the downside. You're waiting for this zone to break on a higher time frame. I wouldn't even wait for a daily close underneath. This would not make me bearish. You could de-risk, but it would not make me bearish. The 3-day closing underneath that zone, though, maybe, right? If we close a 3-day, okay, then that's when we start to think, okay, you know what, time to look for a move to the downside. But then again, you have your 200 MA over here, man. It's really hard to be bearish on BTC, just really hard. Trust me, for all you bears out there, I want to be with you, but you gotta be bullish when it's giving you this kind of info, man. That being said, if you do close a 3-day candle underneath 8,000, I wouldn't be surprised if we test the top of the cloud here. That is another move, by the way, that people don't look at. We could come and test, okay, the cloud over here. That doesn't mean we close over here. We could just wick over here and then close above all these levels. We've done that before. We've done that here, right? Came, wicked onto the Tenkin and close above the 200 MA. Could do it again. Wick onto the cloud, buy a step in and close above these lines over here, because the Tenkin's going to line up with the 200 MA. And by the way, when the Tenkin moves above the 200 MA, that's when I'm going to get even more aggressively bullish on BTC. But we'll wait for that to happen. It's not happened yet. Okay, so that's that for BTC. Ethereum, we're waiting for the 2-day 200 MA to get a confirmed kill. It's not doing it. Not doing it yet. So patience is the game. Let's just watch this. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Throw a like, throw a subscribe. I hope my throat's gonna be better tomorrow. Wish me well. It's hurting like a bee. But yeah. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Cheers. Trade safely. Trade stress free.